Good morning all. Now we can move to Fourier integral, the extension of method of Fourier series to non-periodic function leads to the Fourier integrals. Okay, now let us remember the Fourier series of a given function f of x. Okay, the Fourier series of a 2L periodic function defined over the interval minus L less than x less than L is given by the formula f of x is equal to a naught plus sigma an cos n pi x by L plus bn sin n pi x by L, where n varies from 1 up to infinity, where a naught is equal to 1 by 2L integral from minus L to L f of x into dx, and an is equal to 1 by L integral from minus L to L f of x into cos n pi x by L dx, and bn is given by the formula 1 by L integral from minus L to L f of x into sin n pi x by L dx, where n varies from 1, 2, 3 etc. Okay, now if x is a point of continuity, then the corresponding Fourier series converges to f of x itself. Now if x is a point of discontinuity, then the corresponding Fourier series converges to f of x minus plus f of x plus divided by 2. That means the left hand limit plus the right hand limit divided by 2, and that is equal to our Fourier series. Okay, that means if you are representing the Fourier series in this way, then we have this is equal to f of x minus plus f of x plus divided by 2 is equal to our Fourier series representation. F of x is equal to, sometimes we can represent f of x in the model a naught by 2 plus sigma an cos n pi x by L plus bn sin n pi x by L. Okay, now in that case we can write a naught equal to 1 by L integral from minus L to L f of x dx. Okay, now if x is a point of discontinuity, then the corresponding Fourier series converges to f of x plus plus f of x minus whole divided by 2. Now we can move to our Fourier integral theorem. What are the conditions for the Fourier integral theorem? So the conditions are here. You may write like this: the Fourier integral theorem. Here the conditions are f of x is piecewise continuous, in every finite interval, in every finite interval, and has the right hand derivative and left hand derivative at every point, and has right and left hand derivative at every point. And if integral from minus infinity to infinity mod f of x dx exists, that means this function f is integrable. Okay, now in that case we can represent the Fourier integral as f of x is equal to integral from 0 to infinity a omega cos omega x plus b omega sin omega x into d omega, where a omega is given by the formula 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of t into cos omega t dt, and b omega is given by the formula 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of t into sin omega t dt. Okay, now we can move to the problems of Fourier integral. So you write the first question. Find the Fourier integral representation of the function f of x is equal to 1 and 0, here for mod x less than 1 and here for mod x greater than 1. Okay, so firstly here we want to calculate what is a omega and what is b omega for finding the Fourier integral f of x. So a omega equal to 1 by pi, then integral minus infinity to infinity, then here you can use the notation f of x or f of t, anyway f of x into cos omega x into dx. If you are using x, you can use. So now we want to split the integral. Here mod x less than 1. Mod x less than 1 means minus 1 less than x less than 1, and for mod x greater than 1 means x greater than 1 or x less than minus 1. So here we want to split this integral into 3. Okay, so here first one from minus infinity to minus 1, then 0 dx, then from 1 to minus 1 to 1, function value is 1, then cos omega x into dx. Okay, then again from 1 to infinity 0 dx. Now that is equal to 1 by pi, then these two quantity reduces to 0. Now the remaining quantity is integral cos omega. Now what is integral cos? Sin omega x divided by omega, and this is from minus 1 to 1. Okay, now that is equal to 1 by pi omega, then you can put x equal to 1. So sin omega minus sin of minus omega. Okay, so sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. So here we have sin omega itself. So this is equal to 2 sin omega divided by pi omega. Okay, so this is 2 sin omega divided by pi omega. Similarly, we can calculate the value of b omega also. Okay, now you calculate b omega. B omega is equal to, write the formula 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x into sin omega x dx. Now this is equal to, again as in the previous case, you can split this integral. So here remains minus 1 to 1, then 1 into sin omega x dx. So this is equal to 1 by pi, then minus cos omega x divided by omega from minus 1 to 1. Okay, otherwise there is a easy method. What is that method? I will show this. After that we can move to that. 1 by pi, then here omega, then here cos omega minus cos of minus omega. Cos of minus theta is cos theta itself. So here we have a 0. Now the other method is, here you can see that here sine function is an odd function, and we have a result integral minus a to a, an odd function. Odd function is 0. So you can use that result also. So we have the value of a omega and b omega. Now you can substitute that values in f of x. So what is f of x? Integral from 0 to infinity. Then you can substitute the value of a omega. A omega is 2 into sin omega divided by pi omega. So a omega into cos omega x. Then d omega is 0. So here we have a d omega. Okay, now you can take that 2 by pi outside. So 2 by pi integral from 0 to infinity sin omega divided by omega, then cos omega x d omega. Now you can take this 2 by pi to the other side. Okay, so we have integral from 0 to infinity cos omega x sin omega divided by omega into d omega equal to pi by 2 into f of x. Pi by 2 into f of x. Now here, what is the point of discontinuity here? Here you can see that the function is discontinuous at 1. Okay. So here you can see that the function is defined for minus 1 to 1, then for x greater than 1 and x less than minus 1. So you can consider the average of the left hand and right hand limit of f of x at x is equal to 1. So what is here f of 1 plus, that means the right hand limit. That means you can you have to take the function value to the right of 1. What is the value of f of 1 plus? Here the given function is f of x is equal to 1 and 0. Here for minus 1 less than x less than 1, and here for x greater than 1 and x less than minus 1. Okay, this is our function. So what is the function value to the right of 1? Right of 1. So for 1 less than, here you can see that to the right of x. If you draw the graph, you can see that clearly. From here, suppose minus 1 1, x varies from minus 1 1, the function value is 1. Suppose this is the value 1. Okay, so it takes the function value 1 from minus 1 to 1, and after that this function takes only 0. So to the right of 1 the function value is 0. To the right of 1 the function value is 0. Similarly, what is f of 1 minus? 1 minus means to the left of 1. To the left of 1 the function value is 1. Okay, so what is the average of these two values? So f of 1 plus f of 1 minus whole by 2 is equal to 1 by 2. So at the point of discontinuity, the corresponding series converges to 1 by 2. Okay. So here already we have the definition is this one. So at this stage we can write the function value at x equal to 1. Okay. Similarly, you can verify the function value at x equal to minus 1 also. Okay. So you can write f of x is equal to 1 for minus 1 less than x less than 1, and equal to 1 by 2 for x equal to 1, and equal to 0 for x greater than 1 or x less than minus 1. Otherwise, you can write in the model mod x less than 1 and mod x greater than 1 also. That is also applicable here. Okay. So here if you want you can write mod x less than 1, and here you can write mod x greater than 1. So this is our function actually. Now you can substitute this value in star. So star become integral from 0 to infinity cos omega x sin omega divided by omega d omega is equal to pi by 2 when mod x less than 1, and pi by 4 when x equal to 1 and equal to 0 for mod x greater than 1. Okay, so this is our required Fourier integral of the given function. The required Fourier integral of the given function. Now from this Fourier integral is known as the Dirichlet's discontinuous factor. Okay, so I will write here. I am just cleaning that. Okay, now this is known as, this function is known as, this integral is called Dirichlet's discontinuous factor. Now as a special case we can put x is equal to 0 here. When x is equal to 0 in the Dirichlet discontinuous factor, you can see that integral from 0 to infinity, here cos 0 1, so sin omega by omega d omega equal to x is equal to 0 belongs to this interval, so the function value is pi by 2. Now if you want you can put omega equal to x, then you will have, so from this result you can write integral from 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity sin x by x dx is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so this is an important result. Integral from 0 to infinity sin x by x dx is equal to pi by 2. Okay, now we can move to one more problem now. Okay, so second question, using Fourier integral, show that integral from 0 to infinity cos x omega plus omega sin x omega divided by 1 plus omega square into d omega is equal to 0 pi by 2 pi e raised to minus x. Here for x less than 0, here for x equal to 0, and here for x greater than 0. Okay, so these are the three values. Okay, now at first here we want to choose our f of x. Now here we can take f of x is equal to 0. Here for x greater than 0 and x less than 0 we can consider, and here we can avoid the constant here. So you can take f of x equal to e raised to minus x for x greater than 0 and 0 for x less than 0. So this is our selection of f of x here. Okay, so using this f of x we can find the a omega and b omega. So a omega equal to, write the formula, 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x into cos omega x dx. Now you substitute the value of 1 by pi f of x here. So here you can split the integral from minus infinity to 0, then 0 to infinity. Then from minus infinity to 0 the function value is 0. So you have to consider 0 to infinity e raised to minus x cos omega x dx only. Okay, now here we can apply a known result, integral e raised to ax cos bx dx equal to e raised to ax divided by a square plus b square into a cos bx plus b sin bx. Okay, now you apply this formula here. So this is 1 by pi, then e raised to ax. Now what is the value of a here? A is minus 1 and b is omega. So e raised to minus x divided by 1 plus omega square into then minus cos omega x plus omega sin omega x. Okay, now you substitute the limit from 0 to infinity. Now you can put the x, the limit for x. So this is, at first you can put here 1 by 1 plus omega square is a constant. So you put x as minus infinity, then here you will have e raised to minus infinity and that value 0. So 0 minus, then put x as a 0. Then here e raised to 0 is 1. Then again here minus cos 0. Minus cos 0 means cos 0 is 1. So minus 1. Then plus 0. Okay. So here we have plus 1. That means 1 by pi into 1 plus omega square. So this is the value of A omega. Similarly, you calculate B omega. So B omega is 1 by pi integral from minus infinity to infinity f of x into sine omega x dx. Okay, as in the previous problem, here you will have integral from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x sine omega x dx. Here you can apply the formula integral e raised to ax sine bx dx equal to e raised to ax divided by a square plus b square, then into a sine bx minus b cos bx. Apply this formula here. Okay, so that is equal to 1 by pi into e raised to minus x divided by 1 plus omega square, then a sine omega x minus omega sine omega cos omega x. Okay, now you can substitute the limit here. So this is 1 by pi into 1 plus omega square, then e raised to minus infinity 0, then minus e raised to 0 1, then minus 1 into here this term becomes 0, minus here omega into cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So the answer is omega divided by pi into 1 plus omega square. Thus we have the value of A omega and B omega. Now we can substitute these two values in our function f of x. So f of x is equal to 1 by pi into integral from 0 to infinity, then A omega. What is A omega? 1 by pi into 1 plus omega square. A omega into cos omega x plus B omega. What is B omega? 1 by pi into 1 plus omega square into, then here you will have omega. Oh, you have omega. Okay, then into sine omega x d omega. Okay, now here you can see that here in our function, here there is no 1 by pi in the starting. Our function is, actually our formula is f of x is equal to integral from 0 to infinity A omega cos omega x plus B omega sin omega x d omega. Okay, now you can take that 1 by pi outside. So 1 by pi into integral from 0 to infinity cos omega x plus omega sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega square, then into d omega. Okay, now you can take this pi to the other side. So integral from 0 to infinity cos omega x plus omega sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega square into d omega is equal to pi into f of x. Okay, here what is the point of discontinuity by the definition of the function f of x? 0. So here you have to calculate what is f of 0 plus and f of 0 minus. X equal to 0 is a point of discontinuity. So you find f of 0 plus and f of 0 minus. What is f of 0 plus here? By our definition, for x greater than 0, that means to the right of 0, the function value is e raised to minus x. So e raised to minus x means e raised to minus 0. That means e raised to 0 and its value is 1. And to the left of 0, left of 0 means x less than 0. Function value is 0. So what is the average of these two values? So we have the average of these right hand limit and left hand limit is given by f of 0 plus f of 0 minus divided by 2, and that is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, so here we have this is equal to, and that is the function value at x equal to 0. Now already we have our function f of x is given by the function value is e raised to minus x for x greater than 0. Now we calculated the function value at x equal to 0 and it is 1 by 2, that is for x equal to 0 and 0 for x less than 0. So this is our f of x. Okay, now you can substitute this f of x here. So this is pi into e raised to minus x for x greater than 0 and pi into 1 by 2, that is pi by 2 for x equal to 0 and pi into 0, pi into 0 0, that is for x less than 0. So this is our required answer. Okay, thank you all. Now we can wind up the class now.